today we're doing similar right triangles. It says, when you have a right triangle and draw an altitude to the hypotenuse, two things occur. What is an altitude? It goes straight up and down, right? Your altitude in the triangle goes from your vertex straight down. So it's basically the height of your triangle. What is a hypotenuse? Well, for starters, it's a side or an angle. It's the side. Your hypotenuse is your longest side of the triangle, and it's always directly across from the right angle. That is very important. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to look at this picture. There's how many triangles within this picture that you guys see? Look harder. 3. There's 3, right? So we're going to redraw those. All right, look at my first triangle. That's the biggest one, right? I have vertices of F, A, and E. Just looking at that yellow triangle. Where is my right angle in F, A, E? A, right? That creates my right angle. So let's draw that over again off to the side. This is our biggest triangle. And we just kind of rotated it. All right, so draw this on your paper. My right angle was A. At the very top here, I had F, and then E was here. We're just redrawing it so we can see it better. All right, look for the second triangle. Look at the medium one, because that was the biggest one. My medium triangle is here. Where is my right angle?
C and A.
There's only one. That's my right angle, right? Angle C. So let's draw this one over. This is my medium triangle. So we have F, C, and then A. What we're doing is we're flipping it, we're rotating it, whatever we have to do just to show that it's a different triangle. All right, and then we have the smallest triangle right here. If you're looking at your smallest triangle, where is your right angle? That angle C again. So I'm going to basically flip that one. This is my smallest one. You don't have to draw up the scale. C, E, and the long side is A. All right, so now we can say that all 3 of these triangles are similar. So let's say triangle FAA, that was the biggest one, is similar to what's the middle one? FCA. And what about the small one? ACA. Okay. Now, we went over that, but I think it is much easier when we don't do this all the time. So I'm going to teach you a different way to solve these problems. Okay? But first, let's talk about our ratios. Our ratios say the first one is hypotenuse to short side. That means that the hypotenuse in the short side, the hypotenuse in the long side, and the long side and the short side are all proportional for each of the 3 triangles. So let's take a look here. Where is my hypotenuse? What's the longest side of the triangle? Your hypotenuse is always directly across from the right angle, so it's EF. What's the next one? FA and Let's write that down. So we had FE, FA, and AE. All right, looking at these three triangles, what's your short side?
AE,
AE,
CA,
CA, and CE. For part B, you can just rewrite your hypotenuse over again. We have FE, FA, and AE. Those letters for the sides for your hypotenuse aren't changing. It's still the hypotenuse. But my long side, what we haven't done yet, my long sides will be FA, FC, and AC. All right, part C. The long side. We already wrote the long side. FA, FC, and AC. Over your short side, which we already wrote, is AE, CA, and CE. I'm just using the information that I already had. All right, it says we can use the geometric mean to determine the missing side. Your geometric mean was kind of struggle in your last quiz. A lot of you were doing the ratio. So let's make sure we know what geometric mean is. All right, do we see three triangles here? Yes. Okay, we are not going to redraw all three triangles. We're going to do a different concept. That concept I like to call top of the mountain. So do you guys see the biggest triangle here? So my top of the mountain is going to be right there. Put like a little circle there. Alright, so that means that my top of the mountain is basically where my two triangles meet and it forms a right angle. Now, I need to go down the mountain. I have an option to go down the first side, the middle, or the one on the far right. Which one should I go down with the variable? Going down the middle because that's where X is. Once you go down the middle, go ahead and draw a proportion. And this is going to start my geometric mean. I went down the middle with the variable, so that is going to kickstart my geometric mean. Alright, once we went down the mountain, if I go to the left, what number is there? 3. And if I go my other direction to the right, it is 12. So what you're doing is you start at the top of the mountain, you go down the side with a variable, and then once you get down to the bottom of the mountain, you have a decision. Do we go left or do we go right? In this case, you did both. What do we do now? So x times x, x squared, and 3 times 12. 3 times 12.
36.
36. How do I solve for x? We're going to take the square root of each side to get rid of my square. So once I do that, my square and my root are gone. I'm left with x equals plus or minus 6. Now, when you're taking measurements, can you ever have a negative measurement? If I measure this floor, will I say it's negative 36 inches? No. So technically our answer is plus or minus, but I don't need to have negative measurements, so I'm gonna just keep the positive one. So your answer is x equals 6. Any questions there? All right, let's look at number 2. Oh, number 2, let's say I start at the top of the mountain. I want to go down the side of the variable. Is that the far left, the middle, or the far right? The far left. Alright, so once we started at the top of the mountain, we went down the mountain. I had 2 choices. Which direction can I go, left or right? I can only go right. I can go right until I hit this first roadblock. So I've already started my geometric mean. Okay? So I can go right for 6, or I can keep going past the roadblock. Now how far did I go?
20.
Not just 20,
Oh.
26. I had to add those 2 numbers together. So to create my geometric mean, I went down the mountain with the variable, so that created the x. I can go to our first roadblock, which is 6, or I can go the whole way, which is adding 20. So 6 plus 20 is 26. Alright, so now let's cross multiply. X times x, x squared. 6 times 26.
156.
100 what?
56.
156. Alright, so if I want to get rid of my square, I take the square root of each side. Make your calculator, what is the square root of 156? It's a decimal. I don't want a decimal. So off to the side, I'm going to do my factor ladder. 156, is that an even number or odd number?
Even.
It's an even number. So I'm going to choose my lowest even number, which is 2. What is 156 divided by 2? 78. And then divide by 2. What's the lowest number going to 39? 5 by 3. 39 divided by 3? 13. The smallest number going to 13 is 13. If I divide, I get 1. That's when I stop. So I have a group of 2 that just comes out by itself. Anything else that does not have a pair stays under the radical. What's 3 times 13? 39. So this is your answer. 2 root 39. That is what x equals. Okay? All right, let's look at number 3. Number 3, I'm at the top of the mountain. If I go down the mountain with the variable, that's all the way from the far right side. So that's how my geometric mean starts. Alright, so I can only go left. If I go left to the roadblock, how far did I go? What number is that? 14. But let's say I keep going. Now how far did I go? 17, because we had to add 3 plus 14. X times X gives me X squared. What is 14 times 17?
238.
238. I can tell you now that is not a perfect square. If you try to do the square root of 238, you would not get a whole number. So let's try to see if we can simplify it. The smallest number to go into 238 is 2. When you divide, what do you get? What's 238 divided by 2? 119, good. Alright, what number goes into 119? It's an odd number, so I would check 3, then 5, then 7. See if you get a whole number. Seven, good. Izzy, what's 119 divided by 7? 17. The only thing that goes into 17 other than 1 is just 17. Do I have any pairs here that I can circle?
17 and 17.
But is it the same number? No, I don't have any pairs. I have 2, I have 7, and I have 17. So that means that all those numbers stay under the radical. 2 times 7 times 17 leaves me with square root of 238. Sometimes they don't simplify, that's okay. That one did not simplify. Okay? Let's look at number 4. Well, you have to work on this one. So if I start at the top of the mountain, I have 3 different variables here. So we're going to write out 3 equations. Let's start with A. As soon as I go down the mountain, that starts my geometric mean. Alright, once I get down to the bottom, I can go to 7. Or I can keep going to the very end, which gives me what? Guys?
It gives you
28. Alright, let's look at my next equation. I start at the top of the mountain. If I go down the middle, I have H and H. Once I go down the middle, I have 2 options. If I go to the left, what do I go towards? 7. If I go to the right, 21. Alright, the last one, the top of the mountain is here. If I go down the side of B, that starts my GCF, or sorry, my geometric mean. I can go to the left towards 21 where the roadblock is, but if I keep going, how far am I going? Let's add 7 to that. You should get 28. Alright, take a few minutes to work on this problem.
7 square root 3.
Let's see, for A, we should get A squared is equal to 196 to the square root. Let's say it was 14. Did you guys get 14? That's a perfect number. Alright, let's look at H squared is equal to 147. Alright, I have to do my factor divider for 147. So you should get 7 root 3. Is that what you got, Lila? Okay, what you're looking for your pairs. If you have a pair of a number, that comes outside the radical. If you have 2 pairs, like we're going to see in the last one, you're going to multiply. Whatever does not have a pair stays underneath the radical. My board is getting messed up again. Alright, this is not a perfect square.
I got 2 and 7.
You got what?
2 and 7 pairs.
4. 4. So a pair of 2s and a pair of 7s. Good. So that means I'm going to multiply my pairs as a pair. What's 2 times 7?
14.
14. Is there anything that does not have a pair? 3 stays underneath. I understand that this is not an easy concept for you guys to do, but the more we do it, the more we'll be able to be more confident with it. Okay, good. So now I want you guys to do, or actually let's do number 5 together. You want me, oh sorry, is it? Go to calibrate first. Alright, so number 5 is kind of flipped, okay? You kind of have to imagine you turn it upside down. Your top of the mountain is really here. It looks like the bottom of the mountain because that's where my 2 triangles meet and that's where I have a right angle. Let's cross out this B. I don't want you guys to solve for B. It's a nasty fraction. Alright, so normally we've been going down the mountain, right? To go down the mountain, I can go down 6. So because I went down the mountain 6, that's going to start my geometric mean. Normally I've been starting with a variable, but because they just put a number there instead of a letter, I just go with it. Nothing changes. Once I'm down the mountain, I have 2 options. I can go left or right. What happens if I go this way? That's A. What happens if I go up? That's 8. And I can still solve this. If I get 8A is equal to 6 times 6, which is 36. And if I divide 8, what do we get? A is equal to what?
4.5.
Math enter into.
9 over 2.
9 over 2. Does that make sense? And let me just try something. I think if you were to go down the mountain of 10, I think that would still work. That would start your geometric mean. You could go 8 or all the way of 8 plus A. Yeah, that'll work. So these should cross multiply. I'm going to do, yeah, so you can actually do this either way, because you'll still get, this way is a little bit more work than if you went down the middle of 6, but if you went down the side of 10, it works the same. Alright, so I want you guys to do 6, 7, and 8. For 6, you have 3 variables. I'll go ahead and get you started. Let's say this is my top of the mountain. Let's say we go down the left side. What are my options here? I can go to 7, or I can go all the way down to what? Well, it's 7 plus 56. So that should be 63. Let's say we're at the top of the mountain and we want to go straight down. What starts my geometric mean then? H. At the bottom of the mountain, I have 2 options. What if I go to the left? And what if I go to the right? No, because it's just 56, because I just went down here, and then I just went to the left, to the right. So that would be just 56. And then your last variable, start at the top of the mountain, and we go down V, and I have options. I can go all the way to the left, which is 56, or to the roadblock, or I can keep going to 63. So that's how you're gonna start number 6. If you don't work in partners, that's fine. And before you guys get started, let me show you number 8. Alright, look at number 8 here. They told me that this whole side was 50. If this part is 40, what do we get for this little piece over here? Guys, look at number 8. This would be 10. That is important. You have to write that down. Okay, so you're looking at these numbers in the red, not the ones in the black. You're looking at 40 and 10. Alright, let's take a 5-minute break, and then when we get back, we'll work on this together, and then we'll go over the answers. Oh wait, what time is it out here?
11:15.
Oh, like now, right? Okay. So, sorry, we're not gonna go over this, so I will post the, on Blackboard, I'll post the completed notes, okay? So then you can see how to do these last 2 problems. Alright, your homework is gonna be homework B. Next class, we're gonna go over it, and then you have a little quiz. Alright, so make sure you do homework D. Don't wait till Sunday night, do it like tonight.
It says on the sheet, front of 4, you just do the front.
You just do the front, yep. That's it.